Hello, friends. Welcome to the Calm Mom podcast. I am Michelle Grosser, and thanks for being with us today. Welcome back to part 3 of our Burnout Recovery Blueprint podcast series. This has been so much fun. I've gotten such great feedback from you guys, so thanks for being here. If you haven't listened to parts 1 and 2 yet, go ahead, hit pause. Go back, listen to parts 1 and 2 before you listen to this one, because each part kind of builds on the last, and then come back and join me here for the final part. But to quickly recap, in part 1, we talked about pillar 1 of the nervous system solution and why regulating your nervous system is the missing link to burnout recovery. We talked about the allostatic load. So good. And then in part 2, yesterday's episode, we dove into the art and science of somatics, body-based practices. I gave you guys 3 upregulating and 3 downregulating nervous system resources and tools to help you shift the state of your nervous system out of a stress response and into that like nice, calm, regulated state. And today we're wrapping it all up with pillar 3, the shift from surviving to thriving. And this, my friends, is where the rubber hits the road. This is where the real magic and growth and transformation happens. This is where we develop sustainable habits and practices, because we're going to talk about how we actually rewire our brain and our nervous system and build habits that protect your peace and energy going forward. So this series is a complement to a free guide that I just created for you guys called the Nervous System Reset Guide. If you have not yet, go ahead, again, pause this episode, go click the link in the show notes, get your guide. I'll email it over to you. It is jam-packed, 20 pages of tools, reflection prompts, habit trackers, all the things to help you integrate what we've been discussing in this podcast series, okay? All right. So let's talk about small shifts that have big results. These are like the foundational things that are so important to help shape the resilience of our nervous system, right? Grow the capacity of our nervous system, because ultimately that's what we're seeking, right? We're seeking a nervous system that can handle the ups and handle the downs, but doesn't get stuck in either state. It doesn't get stuck in the highs and it doesn't get stuck in the lows. It's flexible. It's resilient. It can come back to baseline. Now, when we talk about burnout, we've talked about the allostatic load. We've talked about our backpack with rocks. Burnout it's a slippery slope in the sense that it's not something that's happened overnight, right? This has been like a compounding of bad habits, I guess, and like pushing ourselves too hard and not taking care of ourselves and chronic stress. And because it happens over time, it's also not something that we fix overnight. Right? We're not going to like wake up with this magic pill or magic wand and it's like, it's gone, bam, poof, awesome. No, it's about creating these really small, sustainable shifts in our day to day. It's about creating new sustainable ways of being that over time, right, compound, and we see these profound changes when we look back. That's what happens. Like that's how our brain is wired, by our habits and our patterns, you guys, right? That's neuroplasticity. We know that our brain can change the more that we consistently repeat something. The more that we do something, it's like the saying is that neurons that fire together, wire together, right? The more that we repeat something, the stronger that neural pathway in our brain becomes. And this is really good news because it means that we can literally rewire our brain so that we can respond to things that come up in our life with more calm and more clarity and more resilience and all of these amazing things. Think of our habits as like carving a new trail through the woods, right? Like the first part of this year in homeschool, we've been studying like the first early American settlers, and like they had to carve so many new roads through the woods. And at first there was no path, right? It was like just woods and debris and vines and trees and bushes and shrubs and all these different things. But then each time they passed in the same place, a path became visible, right? Until over time, it's just so easy to pass there because it's become clear and easy to walk, right? And then we pave it and it's like super highway. Same thing in our brain. Every time we do a habit, it's carving a trail in our brain, either for something that serves us really well or not, right? So it's either taking us closer to where we want to be, or it's like sucking the living daylights out of us. We get to choose. And when we try a new habit and it's the first time we do it, it's going to be like carving that new trail in the woods, right? The path is going to be barely visible. It's going to be tough. It's going to feel uncomfortable. It's not going to be easy. But I tell you, with consistency over time, with each pass, each time you take that new way of being, do that new habit, man, that path becomes clearer and clearer and clearer and easier for those neurons to fire on, okay? So I think what's happened over time is that so many of us, we experience burnout because we've been unknowingly reinforcing poor stress responses, to be honest, right? It's like we've been saying yes to everything forever. We've been constantly pushing ourselves and continuing to like push through without honoring our body's cues and need for rest, right? We are human beings. We need to rest. Okay. And then we default to like these coping mechanisms that just don't serve us well, right? We're like constantly vacillating between caffeination and alcohol to upregulate or downregulate. We're scrolling social media. We're not sleeping well. Like these just aren't great habits if we want to be resilient in our nervous system, if we want to feel well. It's not how our body is designed to function, right? So we do this because it's hard, right? And a lot of times we haven't been taught other ways. And these are just the patterns that we've picked up over time. And they've reinforced a stress response that causes burnout. The good news, our brain is neuroplastic. We can change our habits. We can change our brain. Even just one new habit, you guys, can start to shift how you feel in a major way today. Like it doesn't have to take months to do this, okay? All right, so I want to talk through my big three. If you guys have been listening to the Calm On podcast for a while, you've probably heard me talk about these. I'm really passionate about them. I share them every time I'm a guest on another podcast or if I'm speaking to a group or teaching, because I think these are 3 foundational habits to protect your nervous system, increase your resilience, and then ultimately recover from burnout if that's where you're at. So here are my big 3. Daily. I think you should do each of these daily for about 10 minutes. So you can do all 3 of these in under 30 minutes. You can even combine them, which is what I do, and then you knock them out. So number 1 is stillness, moments of stillness every single day, you guys. Movement, can't get around it. Movement is the most powerful way to regulate your nervous system. And then my favorite one is play. All right, so let's talk through them. Stillness, cultivating calm in the chaos, wiring your brain to be comfortable in stillness. Daily stillness, you guys, is like, it's so powerful. It's like hitting a reset button for your nervous system. It gives your brain and your body space to recover from the constant stimulation of life, right? The constant demands that are on your life for your attention, your time, your energy, like all the things. Why is stillness so important? Well, 1, stillness activates our parasympathetic nervous system. That's the brake in if we think of our nervous system like a car with a gas pedal and a brake, our parasympathetic nervous system is the brake. So if we are on go, go, go a lot of our daily life, right? Like everyone needs something from us, work, the kids need a snack, like all the things that they need. We need to carve out time in our day to activate the brake, activate our parasympathetic nervous system. This will lower your cortisol levels. This will improve your focus. Your brain desperately needs moments of stillness so it can reorganize and heal and not be constantly taking in information, right? So what does this look like? I mean, it could be the 5-minute deep breathing meditation that I have in the nervous system reset guide. I have it linked for you guys there. Maybe it's doing that. Maybe it's, driving to work or to school, back from school drop off without listening to anything, right? Without listening to a podcast, as much as I hate to say it, but just allowing yourself to be still. Maybe it's folding the basket of laundry or eating lunch without like listening to something or scrolling through social media, but like just going outside and sitting on a bench and eating your lunch there. Where can you find moments of stillness where you're not constantly being stimulated? Huge. So that's number one. Number two, the second big daily 3 habit is movement, you guys. You've got to release stress and build energy through movement. And I'm not talking about hitting the gym for an hour. I'm not talking about like this big hit workout. I'm talking like sitting on the floor and stretching, right? Go for a walk around your block. Put on your favorite song and move your butt in the kitchen, right? Just like dance a little bit to your favorite song. We experience stress daily. We have to have ways to release stress from our body daily. And movement is the most powerful way to do this. There's just no way around it. It also boosts endorphins. We know that. It improves your mood. So daily getting in your movement. And again, don't overcomplicate this. You don't need all this equipment or a gym membership or whatever. Like put on a YouTube of some Pilates and like sit on the floor and do it, right? Invite your kids into a kitchen dance party. Go sit on in your backyard and do 10 minutes of stretching in the morning. I don't really care what it looks like. Just move your body and it will thank you. So that's number 2. And then the third one is play. Guys, can we get daily play as a habit? Bring some joy back into your day. Play isn't just for kids, you guys. Play is a critical piece of burnout recovery. It reminds your nervous system what safety feels like. It reminds your nervous system what fun feels like. I don't know about you guys, but those are the neural pathways I want to form in my brain, right? Play, fun, safety. Play is so powerful in shifting our brain out of survival mode. So when we are in fight or flight, freeze or fawn, and we activate play, it's this switch that just shows our body, hey, we're safe, right? If we were running from a lion or a tiger or a bear, we would not be playing. But we're showing our body, hey, we're playing. We're doing something fun that we enjoy. This is amazing. This is safe, right? Increases our productivity, increases our creativity, increases our problem solving. It's so flipping powerful. But we don't make time for it because we don't understand the value. So I'm telling you now, take my word for it. Give it a shot. You'll reap the ROI so quickly. What does play look like? That's the number one question that I get when I talk about this. It looks like anything that just lights you up. Anything you enjoy doing that you're doing for you and not for anyone else. So for me, like I love doing puzzles. I love to bake. I love to play sports. I love to do like little creative crafts and things like that. I love to, what else do I love to do? I love to be outside and in nature. I love to, play games. Like I'm very competitive and I love any kind of games, card games, board games, like what have you. Those things are all play for me. Maybe you love to skateboard. Maybe you have an instrument that you love to play that's like been collecting dust for 15 years. Like go dust it off. You deserve it. Play is going to be one of your most powerful resources for regulating your nervous system and healing from burnout. And it's just so flipping fun, right? Okay. So those are my big 3. And then let me walk you through a few additional habits that are going to help increase the capacity of your nervous system. And these are in the nervous system reset guide also, and then a tracking sheet to help you track them. All right. Quick ideas, other small shifts that you can make that are going to have a big impact. 1, and you guys, this is like, you already know this, but I'm going to say it again because it's so important. Limiting caffeine and alcohol, right? And I'm not the fun police. I drink coffee every day. I enjoy a margarita or a glass of wine. But here's the reality. Caffeine and alcohol are 2 of the most common like go-tos for most people to just get them through a busy, stressful day. But they backfire when it comes to our nervous system. Caffeine, it stimulates the release of adrenaline and cortisol. So if we're already feeling jittery or anxious or wired, we're like dumping gas on the fire with caffeine, right? Excessive caffeine. Alcohol, other side of the spectrum, right? We might feel more relaxed after we have a nightcap or that happy hour drink, but it's short-sighted because alcohol really disrupts our sleep cycle. It's a stress on our body. It prevents us from fully making that recovery that our body needs to make and our brain needs to make at night. And both can keep our nervous system stuck in overdrive. Alcohol and caffeine make it harder for our nervous system to regulate, harder for our nervous system to reset. So just be smart about it, you guys. If you're a coffee drinker, all right, have your first cup of coffee after you eat something in the morning instead of having it on an empty stomach. That can help stabilize your blood sugar, minimize that cortisol spike. And then maybe this is what I do, just check in how I'm feeling. If I'm good or I'm a little wired in the morning, a little on edge, sometimes I'll skip the coffee altogether or I'll just have that one cup and then I'll switch to a soothing herbal tea, like a chamomile or a peppermint or something. And then on other days when I'm feeling really grounded and regulated, maybe I'll have another cup of coffee, but that's really rare. I'm usually a 1 cup a day. I do it in the morning. I definitely don't drink caffeine after 10, 11 a.m. because caffeine has a long half-life, right? So if you have caffeine in the afternoon, your body is still processing that caffeine midnight, 2 a.m., and it's going to interrupt your sleep, whether you're realizing it or not. And then with the alcohol, if you're going to enjoy a glass of wine, if you're going to have a cocktail in the evening, I would recommend doing what I've started to do, which is have it while I'm making dinner, right? Or even while I'm eating dinner, because I want to have alcohol at a time where my body can metabolize and process it well in advance of me going to sleep. So 2 to 3 hours before I go to bed, I cut off my alcohol consumption so that my body can process it, so that alcohol is not having an impact on the quality of my sleep and my nervous system recovery. Okay. I think those are good parameters to start with. Number 2, emotions. Y'all, I could talk about this till the cows come home. Emotional regulation tools. It's a huge part of Burnout Recovery Blueprint. It's so important to the state of your nervous system and, your emotional regulation. Obviously, our emotions are like waves. They need to rise, they need to peak, they need to flow out. But when we don't have tools to do that, when we just suppress them or ignore them, they get stuck. They will keep your nervous system in a chronic state of fight or flight like no one's business. If you're feeling like you have a short fuse, your unprocessed emotions will shrink your capacity to deal with life like nothing else, you guys. Our emotions don't just disappear if we don't deal with them. They live in our body. They take up space. There's such an energetic charge to our emotions, right? It shows up as tension, anxiety, physical pain. We're snappy, right? We're we don't have the best temper. So it's why learning how to release our emotions in a healthy way is such a critical part of nervous system regulation. When we make space for our emotions, when we free up energy, when we create a sense of calm and safety in our body, it's chef's kiss. So there's tools for this inside of Burnout Recovery Blueprint. But honestly, I think the biggest shift here, now today, as you're listening to this podcast series, is just allowing yourself to honor your emotions, whatever's coming up for you, right? They're in there, whether it's anger, rage, sadness, disappointment, frustration, it's in there, you guys, whether you allow it to express and release it or not. So you might as well give it a shot to feel these things and allow them to release because they're having an impact. We are, as human beings, we are in and out beings. Let me say that again. You and me, are in and out beings. The things that come in must go out, right? The food that we eat, it comes in, it goes out. The things that we drink, in, out. The air we breathe, right? In, out. Same is true for our emotions. They come in and we experience them and they've got to be released. They've got to come out. So greeting your emotions with compassion instead of judgment, that's a great place to start, you guys. And maybe it's journaling to activate some of this stuff and give yourself permission to release it. Maybe it's EFT tapping. We talked about that a little bit yesterday. Maybe it's a somatic check-in and just pausing and asking yourself where you're holding tension or these emotions in your body, right? And just placing your hand over that area, your chest, your neck, your eyes, taking a few deep breaths, right? Allowing that tension to soften and release. That can be a great resource for you, a great starting place. Okay. I'm going to leave you with this. please don't feel like you have to do all of this at once. I'm giving you permission. Just choose one. Start small, right? One habit. Maybe it's, carving in some daily stillness. Maybe you're going to do that 5-minute breathwork meditation that's linked in the nervous system reset guide. Maybe it's being smart about your caffeine and alcohol. Maybe it's incorporating more play, right? And having more fun. And I want you to track how it impacts your energy and your mood and your well-being. So use the habit tracker in the nervous system reset guide to stay on top of it, you guys, because awareness precedes choice. Notice what's working, more of that, right? If it's not working, adjust, pivot, be flexible. You can reflect weekly. And then if you're ready to go deeper on any of this, I would just be so honored if you would consider joining us in the January cohort of the Burnout Recovery Blueprint, you guys. We're going to build on these habits step by step, so much accountability, so much support. We're going to specifically tailor all of this to fit you, your life, your day-to-day. The wait list is open. Early enrollment comes with these incredible bonuses, tons of savings. So if you're curious, put your name on the wait list. I'm going to personally send you an email just with more information. I recorded a short video for you guys that has all the details. So you can kind of take a look at it, talk to your partner about it, pray on it, whatever you need to do. But take advantage of early enrollment if you want in, because why wouldn't you want to take advantage of bonuses and save some money, honey? Okay. So there's a link in the show notes to join us. All right. That's it for pillar 3 of this series. Burnout recovery, you guys. It's not about these big dramatic overhauls. It's really these small, consistent shifts that build, right? They compound over time. So if you haven't already, please go grab your nervous system reset guide, take that burnout assessment that's in there, and then start to incorporate some of these daily habits in your day-to-day. And if you've been on the fence about joining us in the Burnout Recovery Blueprint, you guys, this is your sign. Early enrollment is going to end soon, but I'd love to have you be a part. I would love to meet you, personally guide you through this transformation. I'm so grateful for all of you. Just thanks for being here with me in this 3-part series. Thanks for showing up for yourselves. And as always, just thanks for trusting me to support you. I love you guys so much. I'll see you again soon.